ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Okay, PDF file page 16. Gita Press page 18. Let us read the Bhaashyam from Nanu Rigvedadi. Nanu Rigvedadibahyaha
ऋग्वेदादिबाह्याः
ऋग्वेदादिबाह्या
ऋग्वेदादिबाह्या
तर्हि सा कथं परा विद्या स्यात्
सा कथं परा विद्या स्यात्
मोक्षसाधनं च।
मोक्षसाधनं च।
Yeah, so this is where we paused in the last class. So if you recall in mantra number 4, Dve Vidye Veditavye. A very important introduction to Vedanta. And to other people who are studying also should know all these things. Dve Vidye. So in our Viveka Chodamani, we are seeing Adhikaritva, Viveka Kaha, Viveka, Atma, Anatma, Viveka. There is something called Anatma, there is something called Atma. This is the requirement for a person to actually even enter Vedanta. Otherwise, Vedanta will be meaningless. Why it will be meaningless? Because my mindset is Anatma mindset. Anatma mindset, Dharmartha Kama mindset is there. And so I'm going to look at Vedanta Atma as in the category of Dharmartha Kama. And what Vedanta says will make no sense at all. Why is that? So that is what he's saying here. So Dve Vidya Veditavye. One is called Dharmartha Kama Vidya. That is called Apara Vidya. Another is called Para Vidya, which is Atma Vidya. This introduction we saw. Well, before we get introduced to this, we talk about Vedas. Veda is so important. We never study the Veda We are supposed to have studied the Vedas, but we haven't spent time on it over the years. And then we end up, after all, retirement on all, we say, what is all this Veda? And all people get, some people learn chanting, some people do this and that. We study Upanishads. Now, what happens? That Veda is there. It's a new subject for us. And what does it really talk about? It is the text that governs the life of every, Bharatiya, wherever they are located. And that Veda, whatever the Veda talks about, is apaurusheyam, we say. Apaurusheyam means what? It is something you cannot get in any of the books, any of the sciences that you have been exposed to. Why? Yeah, because it is talking about Swarga and Naraka. It is talking about Punyam and Papam. It's talking about the importance of Dharma. Importance of Dharma, I might know, but then he says Papam is there if I don't follow Dharma. Talking about Devatas. Devata idea comes from Veda. And it talks about Panchamaha Yajna. Panchamaha Yajna, where are you going to get from? And of course, all the rituals that are meant to get even more Artha and Kama, which human beings have no access to. Therefore, Veda is called Apaurusheyam, and everything else, all secular sciences, non-secular sciences, this, that, whatever people talk about, it is not non-secular, secular, let's say. Okay, that is all Aparavidya. This is how we are introduced to this so-called Veda, which is called Paravidya or Paravidya. Both are okay. Okay. Once you understand this, then you can now appreciate what the Mundaka Upanishad is doing in mantra number, this current mantra that we are studying, which is number 5. Number 5 is just stretching our idea of Paravidya even more. How is it stretching? We are going to see that. We're going to see that. We are beginning to see it. Because now he is saying this Rigveda, Yajurvedadi is Aparavidya. All along I thought Veda, Apaurusheyam, Shabda Pramanam. Look at all the words, right? Huh? All the Shabda Pramanam it is. There is, I have only so many Pramanams with me. 5 sense organs and the mind. This is the only Pramanam human beings have in order to gain knowledge. And now Veda comes and says, there is this one I'm going to tell you, which you have no access to. And so this becomes Shabda Pramanam. Veda becomes Shabda Pramanam. So much I've heard about it. Now suddenly this mantra is coming and telling us, this Rigvedadi is Apara Vidya. Apara Vidya. Okay. So that is why this is some discussion now, Shankaracharya, by saying the now current discussion that's going to come up is now based on this stretch that the Upanishad is giving us, stretching our mind even further. And there is this way, entire Veda, you called it as Paravidya. Then there is now a discussion about, no, you can't say that. Can't really say that. Because why you can't say that? Because Veda also is telling a lot of things in order for me to get the Artha and Kama only. And Dharma also is there. And Dharma is Paravidya or Aparavidya. If you ask, hey, Dharma is Anatma Vidya. Therefore, it has to be Aparavidya only. And if I do a Homa to get even more wealth, if I do Chandi Homam and Navagraha Homam to remove all the forces that are working against me, what am I getting? I'm getting more Punyam and I'm getting more Artha and Kama also. All those things even though I've been told it is Paravidya in the Vedas, but they should all be put as Aparavidya because it's getting me Artha and Kama only. It won't get me Moksha. So if I focus now more on Moksha, then the Moksha Shastram has to be called as Paravidya. Like that, a portion of the Vedas only. This kind of stretch is being given in this mantra. Okay. So that's why this discussion is there. And the bold statement the Upanishad is making is the entire Rigveda is Aparavidya. Correct? Tatra Apara Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharvavedaha. What does that say? Hey, all the four Vedas are Aparavidya. It is stretching is even more. Even a portion of the Veda which is supposed to be Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, at least that you should leave. But it looks like the Veda is, this Upanishad is saying everything, the entire Veda also is Aparavidya. Then where is Paravidya? One cryptic statement, Yaya Tad Aksharam Adhigamyate. No text, nothing. That by which Brahma is understood is called Paravidya. Okay, so this much we got introduced to in the last class. And Shankara in the previous paragraph talked about this Aksharam Adhigamyate, Prapyate. Aksharam, Brahma. Aksharam is Brahma only. And Brahma Adhigamyate. That by which Brahma is understood. Understood means what? Understood as the Jagat Karanam and as myself also. If it does not include myself, all this is academic study. All this is academic. Otherwise, it becomes the be all, end all. This is it for us. All right. So, Aksharam Adhigamyate is that by which Aksharam is understood. Shankaracharya is saying Prapyate. That which is Brahma is gained. Moksha is gained. So, whenever in the Shastram Adhigamyate comes, Prapyate and Adhigamyate are identical. We saw last time. When it comes to Praptasya Praptihi, accomplishing what is already accomplished. It comes in the field of knowledge. And so knowledge itself is an end. That is what Shankara is saying by saying Adhigamyate is equal to Prapyate. After Jnanam, there is nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. Very important thing. Because in all the other Laukika Vishayas, the worldly things, knowledge doesn't get you anything. Even if you say, I attended a workshop after paying so many $1,000 on how to invest in a post-COVID era. What is the use of all that knowledge? You got to go do something about that knowledge and make some money out of it. That is, otherwise that knowledge is useless. No knowledge is useful. No knowledge. Even food, shelter, and clothing. Food, I know how to make. I'm a good cook. You're a good cook. I'm yet to taste your food, okay? So you have to make something. Otherwise, this good cook and all that is what do you mean by good cook? Good cook means yes, this person is known to actually do things very well. You can learn something from him or her. That is a good cook. So knowledge has to be applied. This is theory, this is application. This is theory, this is application. Constantly, this is theory and practice. Theory application will come. And if I should not look at the Veda with that mindset. Veda means at least the portion of Brahma Vidya, we can't look at it with that mindset. Shankaracharya is saying by using that, translating or explaining the word Adhigamyate by Prapyate. This we saw last time. Okay? So these are all the Bhaashyam. You see how much it is teaching us. Just one or two sentences is telling us so much. And so in some places where Upanishad will say Prapyate, Shankara will say Adhigamyate. He is making sure we understand that there is no difference between Prapyate and Adhigamyate. Knowing is equal to getting. Moksha is knowing. That's it. All right, we'll see more about that. So now, having seen that, we also saw the sentence Nanu Rigvedadi Bhakya Tarhi Sa Katam Paravidya Syat. You have put the entire Veda in the Aparavidya category in this mantra. And you are putting this Brahma Vidya outside the Veda. Because all Veda is Aparavidya means what? Yaya tad aksharam Brahma adhigamyate must be outside the Veda. Because all Veda is Aparavidya. All Veda is Aparavidya. And you're calling it Paravidya. That means what? We have a serious problem, he says. Purva Pakshi is saying we have a serious problem. And the uh, problem is what? Let's read the next sentence. या वेदबाह्याः
या वेदबाह्याः
स्मृतयः
स्मृतयः
याश्च काश्च
याश्च काश्च
कुदृष्टयः
कुदृष्टयः
सर्वाः ताः
सर्वाः ताः
निष्फलाः
निष्फलाः
प्रेत्य
प्रेत्य
तमोनिष्ठाः हि
तमोनिष्टाः हि
ताः स्मृताः
ताः स्मृताः
इति हि स्मरन्ति.
इति हि स्मरन्ति.
He's stating, he's quoting the Purva Pakshi, the guy who has an objection is quoting the Shastram, Smaranti, Smriti he's quoting, to say that anything that is outside the Veda, you do you know what you did? You said you gave too much importance to something that is outside the Veda. That's what he's saying. Smaranti. Smaranti means we recall. And it's another way of saying it is from Smriti. Smriti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, right? So Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is Veda. Smriti is everything outside the Veda, including Bhagavad Gita. It's outside the Veda. But it is taught by Bhagavan, therefore, and it is talking about Moksha Vidya, and therefore it is Panchamo Vedaha, like that we say. But otherwise, everything else is outside the Veda. And he's saying, you know what? Look at this. So quotation is like this. It is Smaranti. So Smaranti means we recall from Manusmriti. This is from Manusmriti. I think your book also says, gives the quotation. Okay, 12.95. 12.95. All right. What is it? Ya Veda Bhashyaha. These things which are outside the Veda. There is a generally we know about this Veda, the Veda and those which are outside Veda. Veda Bhashyaha. Smritayaha. They're called Smritis. Veda Bhahyas are called Smritis. Because why? Smr means from the mind, from the human mind. Memory. It is coming from memory, it's a product of a human mind. It is a Paurusheyam. Therefore, it is called Smriti. Smr, 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 to remember, to think that those meanings are there for Smr. It is recalled. If it is coming out of a human brain means what? It's processed and then it comes out. And so, Smritihi. So, Yaha, those things okay, which are outside the Vedas, which are called Smritis, Yascha, Kascha, Kaha. This is just a way of saying those things which, whatever they are, Kascha, those things, whatever they are. Is it outside the Veda or inside the Veda? That's all I need to know. Whatever they are, Kascha, Kudrishtayaha. Drishti means a vision. Any text is going to tell us something. Kudrishti, Kutsita Drishti, Kudrishti. Ku is the opposite of Su, you know. Sumedha. We have names called Sumedha, Sumangala, okay? Sushila. These are all Su. Su means Sushtu, means good, auspicious. Ku is the opposite of that. Wrong, inauspicious, crooked, flawed, incomplete. All these things is Ku. So we have that Ku is there, okay? And Kupurushaha means Kubuddhihi. Kubuddhihi. This guy is Kubuddhihi. Wrong thinking all the time. So he said Kudrishtayaha. Those Britayaha Kudrishtayaha Santi. Means they may offer something useful in the Laukika, in worldly things, but finally they are just useless. They are just wrong. They think they are absolutely right, but they are not right. Even if you say sending the rocket to moon, that's great. It's a great accomplishment. We can be proud of it. But people get caught up in it thinking it is the ultimate. And that is why it is Kudishti. It doesn't tell you that there is something other than that for human fulfillment. It doesn't give you human fulfillment. Complete fulfillment is not there. Whatever science I study, that is what is called Kudrishtayaha. Okay? And even religions, all the other religions are outside the Veda. And any religion that offers heaven, and offering heaven is okay, but if they say the heaven is eternal, then it is Kudrishti. How can heaven be eternal? Is it a place or not? Okay. Is it finite or infinite? If you say infinite, heaven is right here. You can't say it is infinite. Okay, heaven is somewhere. There is a big line waiting to go to heaven. So that means they want to leave this place. That means this place is not heaven. That's what people have been told. And so if you say it is a place, it is finite. If you say it is finite, it is not eternal, my dear friend. Okay. And so eternal heaven, you will go to heaven and live there ever after. It's all good in the storybooks, but but if you really look into it, it is kudrishtihi. Kudrishti. Okay. And you get told all these things. You did a good life, and then you exhaust all your punyam and papam, and after 7 lives, you will get nirvana. 7 janmas. You get nirvana. If they say things like this, we don't accept it. Why? Because punyam and papam infinite is there. Because infinite janmas have gone before us, and therefore this exhausting and punyam and papam. Very nice idea to believe. Yeah, I have a lot of papa in my account, and I have to somehow experience all that. And let me experience it fast so I can get moksha. These things we won't accept. Can't accept. Because anadi. Jiva is anadi. Anadi means what? Beginningless. Therefore, punyam papam beginningless. So karma phalam account also is beginningless. And so there's no question of exhausting infinite karma phalam. And everything here is satyam. Whatever you see is real. Absolutely real. They're all kudistri. Absolutely real means what? That means my bondage also is absolutely real. That means there is no moksha possible. So all these things absolutely real. All these Charvaka matas, everything. In fact, all matas consider life to be real. Real means absolutely real. The word satyam and mithya word doesn't come anywhere at all in their drishti. Therefore, in our eyes, it is all kudrishti. Even in a simple object like pot, we can see there is satyam and mithya. Correct? There is a pot whose existence is limited. It was born yesterday, it will die tomorrow. Okay? And the clay, which has been there for a long time. Right here, I can see a difference between Satyam and Mithya. And what are you talking about, Atman and Atma? Okay? And so, they're all Kudrishtayaha, Sarvaha Taha, and all those Kudrishtayaha, all those visions, all those things they offer in various books. Okay? All ideas of moksha and everything non-moksha also. They are all Nishphalaha. Nishphalaha. Pretya tamonishtaha hitaha spritaha. They are absolutely useless. Nishpala. They're not useless. Pretya. Okay, now at least not useful. After death, at least it should be useful. Pretya. Pretya. Vritva. Having died. Then also it is useless. Because it's going to put you in places that you can't imagine. Where will it go? Tamonishtaha. Onishtaha. It can put you in places from where you cannot get out. Like that he's saying. Manusmriti is saying all that. Tamo. Tamo means darkness, ignorance, and just dullness, places where you don't want to go to. Tamo nishtaha. Hita smritaha. So that is how it is remembered. What is remembered? All these Veda Bhakyas are all Kudrishtayaha. They are all just, they are just temporarily useful. That's about it. But beyond that, they're not useful. Neither in this life they are useful. If they were all beneficial in this life, everybody will be fulfilled. By the time I'm an accomplished guy, I worked in MNCs and I did this and that, therefore I must be a happy person. By the time we are 60, all of us should be enlightened and happy. Nothing like that happens. And therefore, tamo nishtahi taha smrita. Okay? And which means what? Veda Bhahyas are inferior and finally useless. I may find some use for each of things, and a lot of things are useful, all right. Food is also useful. Without food, we will perish. Body will perish. But where is moksha? It's not possible. That is what he's saying. Iti hi smaranti. And even us, even when we study the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads, when the Upanishad says Veda is eternal, means Veda is Nityam. I mean, sorry, not Veda is Nityam. When Swarga is Nityam, Swarga, heaven, we will question it. We will say, wait a minute, what do you mean by Swarga is Nityam? We know Swarga is Anityam. And Upanishad is saying Swarga is Nityam. Then you carefully look at it. Look at the context. Then we will find that Swarga is Nityam. When you say, hey, compared to all the other timelines that we know, this life on earth that we know, Swarga is a long period. So long that it is eternal only. That is how you interpret eternal Swarga. Interpret all those things. Because other places we know that same Upanishad will say Swarga is non-eternal. It is anityam. That's how the study works. So let's read the next sentence. Kudrishtitvat.
Kudrish,
Kudrishtitvat.
Kudrishtidvat,
Nishphalatvat.
Nishphalatvat,
Anadeya syat.
Nadeyasyat,
Upanishadam cha.
Upanishadam cha,
Rigvedadi bahyatvam
Rigvedadibahyatvam,
syat.
Syat,
Rigvedati tu
Rigvedaditvetu,
prithakkaranam
Kritakkaranam,
anarthakam
Anartakam,
atha para iti.
Atapara iti.
Yeah. Atha para must be in quotes. Your book says it is in quotes.
In my
See,
book it says Ata Katham Para iti.
my book means what book are you following?
My Halenasipura Swamiji.
Okay, let it be so. Let's not bring that here right now. Your book, your book is your book.
No, it makes more meaning. No? It asks the question Ata Katham Para iti.
Yeah, that is what it is. See, atha para iti. Anarthakam atha para. Yeah, that is the thing. Anarthakam. Same thing. Oh. So, but Gita Press is consistent with your PDF. Okay. Same thing. All right. Having said this, now he's going to conclude the discussion. Kudrishtitvat nishphalatvat anadaya syat. So the person who is objecting is saying, because what you have said is this Paravidya is outside Veda. Okay. So then because anything that is outside Veda, according to Manusmriti, is just wrong vision, incomplete vision, flawed vision. Okay, because they're all products of human minds. Human minds may be great, but they're not Sarvajna. Only the Ishvara, product of Ishvara only has to be perfect. But everything else is going to be imperfect. So Kudrishtitvat, because of that, being Kudrishti, okay, wrong vision. Nishpalatvat, not useful. Useless. Nishpalam means useless. Okay? Useless for moksha, right? Useless. Anadeya syat. Anadeya means to be rejected. Deyaha, to give. Adeyaha, to take, to accept, to receive. Anadeya, To not receive, to not accept, means to reject, to to just give it up. Tyag karna. Tyaktavyaha. Tyaktavyaha. You can't accept these kinds of visions. These kinds of ideas people offer, starting from Charvaka onwards. Okay? Who says that, who says, what does he say?
Rinam kritva dhritam pibet.
No, before that, there is a word, no? Before that, there is something that comes. Anyway, he says, just enjoy life. Okay?
Yavat jivati tavat.
Yavat jivam sukham jivet. Correct. Yavat jivam sukham jivet. Rinam kritva gritam pibet. Basmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamana. His logic also he gives. Yavat jivam sukham jivet. Just enjoy life when you are living. Life is meant for enjoyment only. And if necessary, borrow money. Borrow, keep on borrowing. And then have ghee. That's what he's saying. Have ghee means enjoy life. Just go to places and just enjoy. And then this body is anyway going to perish. And you are telling there is another life after this life and all that. What nonsense are you talking about? So that's what he says. So these are all kudrishtitvat, nishpalatvat, anadeyasyat. Must be rejected. Must not be accepted. Okay. So therefore, the Brahma Vidya that you said is outside the Veda, yaya, tadaksharam adhigamyate sa para, that has to be rejected because it's outside the Veda. The moksha idea that you're offering must be rejected because it is outside the Veda. The Brahma Vidya you're talking about must be rejected because it is outside the Veda. Yeah, that's the argument here. And Upanishadam cha Rigvedadi Bhakyatyam Bhakhyatvam Syam. Saying, look, the Upanishads are the ones that tell us about Brahma Vidya. There is no other text that tells it. Whole Veda is all Karma Kanda. And this small portion of the Veda is called Upanishad, which is called Jnana Kanda. It's called Upanishad. And that is what is going to offer Brahma Vidya. And what you have done, hey Upanishad, what you have done, hey Upanishad. Upanishad is saying the statement, we are talking about Upanishad. Hey Upanishad, what you have done is you have taken the Upanishad and put it outside the Veda. Correct? Because the Atma Vidya is only there in Upanishad. And yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate must be part of the Upanishad, and you've taken Upanishad out of the Veda. You've just carved it out and threw it out. That is what you've done. Okay? And then the argument he's making, that objection is not over yet. He's saying, if you put the, okay, if I even accept that you're not throwing the Upanishad out, if the Upanishad is still there in the Veda, then the Upanishad must be part of the Veda, which means you must say that Paravidya is Veda, not Aparavidya, Veda. You should have said Paravidya is Veda. You should have said, but now you are stuck. You are neither here nor there. Okay, you are neither here nor there. And so Rigveditve too means what? Even if I accept the Upanishad is in the Veda and you are pointing to the Veda somehow, you are pointing to the Veda only. Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate is also Veda. If I can accept, even though you rejected the Veda as Aparavidya, still I'll accept that Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate is also part of the Veda only. Then this separation is not tenable. Why would you even want to separate Apara and Para? Okay. Pritak karanam anarthakam syat. Pritak karanam. Pritak means this distinction that you have made between Aparavidya and Paravidya. Anarthakam. It is meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless because Aparavidya is there in Veda. Paravidya also is there in Veda, really speaking. So you can't separate things like that. You must find a different way to do this. Tell this. You're stuck. Atha para iti pritak karanam. Atha para, like that, you should not say all that. That is, you find a different way of saying it. Okay, that is what he's saying. So it helps us understand this whole idea about paravidya is there. That much we understand. But you have to be careful how you say it. You've thrown the entire Veda out and now you're stuck. That is what he's saying. How can you throw the Veda out? You can't say Rigvedadi. Rigvedadi, all Rigveda is Aparavidya. If you say, you've said it, that means nothing is left. Veda is gone, non-Vedas are gone. Now what is there? What is saying? Yeah. Good. So now what happens? All right, let's read the next sentence and then we will. The answers are going to be very good. These are all nice discussions. All of us will follow it very well. Na
न
Vedya Vishaya
वेद्यविषया
Vijnanasya
विज्ञानस्य
Vivakshitatvat.
विवक्षितत्वात्.
Okay, we will pause there. Okay. This is not Ramayana, Ramayana will be interesting. We can read, and then Rama went here, Sita came, Jatayu came, and then the fight happened, and Valmiki, the way he describes these things, it will go on and on and on. Or shlokas. Don't think simply Rama came, saw Jatayu, Jatayu told the story, and then it's over. No, it is not 2-3 shlokas. It will go on for sargas. On and on it will go. And the adjectives he uses, and you cannot but visualize the entire scene just like that, and it just comes alive. Anyway, that's okay. The Ramana has a place, and Mundakopanishad also has a place. Shankara Bhaashyam also has a place. All right. So he's saying, look, before we go into the sentence, he's saying, Na Vedya Vishaya Vijnanasya Vivakshitatvat. Na. Na means what? No. What your argument is not correct. It's a nice try. That's what he's saying. Nice try. Your argument is not correct. Why? Because this is something about Vedya Vishaya Vijnanasya Vivakshitatvat. Because there is an intention behind what the Upanishad is saying. Upanishad has something in mind. And Upanishad wants us to understand something. Vedya Vishaya. Vedya Vishaya means Vedya means to be understood. And Vedya Vishaya is something, a topic to be understood. Okay, Vijnana. So it is about the knowledge of something to be understood. It is about the knowledge of something. Vijnanam is knowledge. Yeah. This is a very cryptic statement. It is called a Sangraha Vakyam. Sangraha Vakyam means what? It is a concise statement, which he is going to explain in the rest of the paragraph. Concise, like a summary statement. In an article, you have a summary, then you have details. This is summary, concise. Sangraha Vakyam. Yeah. Now, listen to this. We already know this. A. If you say Aparavidya, which direction I went, I don't know. So this is karma and this is Veda. So that's where I went. So I'm trying to keep this direction. Anyway, you said Aparavidya is Veda. Okay. Veda is Aparavidya. All worldly sciences gone. And then Veda is the only thing left. And now Veda also, you said it is Aparavidya. And that means nothing is left. Upanishad can't leave us with nothing left. That's not possible. Therefore, Upanishad must have something. What is the thing it has in mind? You can say Aparavidya Veda means all the Karma Kanda part of the Veda. Karma Kanda part of the Veda means what? Veda also offers us many ways to get Artha and Kama and Dharma. And so that part of the Veda which is called Karma Kandaha, which is a big portion of the Veda, very big portion of the Veda. That is what Upanishad means when she uses the word Veda in this mantra. That leaves a small portion called Jnana, Kandaha, or Upanishad. And when she says Yayata Daksharam Adhigamyate, she is referring to that portion of the Veda called Upanishad. Okay, that is one interpretation. How do you know all these things? A. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigунyo Bhavarjuna. Bhagavad Gita 2.45, 245. Right in the second chapter itself, he said, Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha. Hey, Traigunya Vishaya. Means what? All the things the Veda talks about has the three gunas, which means it is about doing and getting and doing and getting. It is about everything that I experience in life. And it is all a product of three gunas. Trigunatmika Maya, Maya Yaha Karyam, this whole thing is, and it's all Trigunatmika. Then where is Nirgunam Brahma? Is there something called Nirgunam Brahma? That is what we are talking about. Correct. Nirgunam Brahma is there. That's why in that mantra, in that sloka, when Krishna says Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha, it is referring to the Karmakanda portion of the Veda. The word Veda refers to Karmakanda only. It cannot include Brahma Vidya, because Brahma Vidya is Nirguna Brahma Vidya. Okay, so don't think the word Veda always means the entire Veda. You have to interpret it. Okay, so, and then he says Nistrai Gunyo Bhava Arjuna, right there. Nistrai Gunyo Bhava means what? Hey, come to understand this Nirgunam Brahma, which is you. You are unaffected by all these three gunas. That is what I must understand. Like that, Krishna mentioned there. Okay, so this is one way to interpret it. Shankara is not going to talk about this. What Shankara is going to say is the next way to interpret this. I'm going to explain it right now. Okay, what I told you just now is one way to interpret. This is one reason why. Purva Pakshi, you are not correct. You have to interpret this mantra properly. You can't take it literally. Otherwise you'll throw the baby with the bath water. Okay? And so this is one way to interpret it. Vedaha is apara vidya. If you say karma kanda Veda bhagaha is apara vidya. Correct? Which makes me do karma. I have to do something. Then I'll get artha kama, dharma. That portion only is apara vidya. Okay? This is one answer to that. Second answer, Shankara is going to give here. Okay? That is what we're going to study now, the next few sentences. Hey, look, very simple it is. Veda, when you say, if you go to Veda Patashala, all the children are studying Veda, correct? They're all studying Veda. They know how to chant. They know how to chant. They can memorize, they memorize the entire Veda by the time they come by the time they come out of the Veda Patishala in so many 12 years. So they will also chant. Om Brahmavida apnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman so oshnute sarvan kamaan saha brahmana vipaschiteti tasmadva etasmadatmana akasha sambhutaha akashad vayu. Like this I can go on for about 15 minutes because this particular they are also chanting it. I am also chanting it. They have memorized it. I have also memorized it. But you ask them to explain what is it. They can't explain it. Do you know why? They have not studied the meaning of the mantras. They have memorized the mantras, all right. They know, they pronounce it so well. They know exactly. If I chant something wrong, they will immediately point out. So they know the pronunciation. They know the words very well. Knowing the words of the mantras is not Paravidya, my dear friend. I'm reminded of who now? Who are we reminded of?
Nachiketa.
Huh?
Narada.
Narada. Correct. Narada. Narada is the guy who said, I am the knower of mantras, but I'm not the knower of Atma. Mantra videvasmi, natu atmavit. Narada knows the entire Veda. But he says, Bhagavo shochami, I'm grieving, he says. And Narada says, I know the entire Veda. He is saying exactly, I am like that student of the Veda Padashala also who knows the entire Veda. Only difference is I know it to chant backward to front also I can chant. They may not be able to do that. Okay, that is Narada's thing. But he says, no, that is not enough. Mantravit, his entire Mantravit is. That is the way to understand this, my dear Purva Pakshi. Veda means Veda Shabda. Shabda. Shabda Jnanam, natu Shabdartha Jnanam. Correct? Shabda Jnanam is there. They know all the words in the right order and how to pronounce. But Shabdartha Jnanam is not there. That is how you should understand. Like that, Shankara is going to explain this. Okay? Shabda versus Shabdartha. That is the argument. I think that we can appreciate. Right? Let's see that. Okay? That is, so na vedya vishaya vijnanasya vivakshitatvat. Vivaksha. Vivaksha means intention. Vivaksha is intention. Because the intention behind the Upanishad's words is vijnanam. Vijnanam is proper understanding of those words. Vedya Vishaya. What words? Vedya Vishaya. Words which must be properly understood. Meant to be understood. Vedya must be understood. Words are meant to be understood. Otherwise, what's the use of a word? Where is the communication? How communication can happen without understanding the meaning of words? We are not simply parroting something here. We are trying to understand something. Therefore, that is what this is the Sangraha Vakya. Shankara is going to explain what I just said. Let's see what that is. Okay. Let's read the next one. Please unmute yourself. Sundaram Seshan.
No, Meera will do it.
Yeah, we're all right. Upanishad Vedya
Upanishad Vedya
Akshara Vishayam Hi
Akshara Vishayam Hi
Vijnanam
Vijnanam
Iha
Iha
Para Vidya Iti
Para Vidya Iti
Pradhanyena
Pradhanyena
Vivakshitam
Vivakshitam
Na
Na
Upanishad Shabda Rashihi
Upanishad Shabda Rashihi
Veda Shabdena Tu
Veda Shabdena Tu
Sarvatra
Sarvatra
Shabda Rashihi
Shabda Rashihi
Vivakshitaha.
Vivakshitaha.
Yeah. So he's saying Upanishad Paravidya iti pradhanyena vivakshita. Let's look at the next word. Veda Shabdena tu Sarvatra Shabda Rashihi Vivakshita. Okay. Let's do that word first. Veda Shabdena tu Sarvatra Shabda Rashihi Vivakshita. Hey, by the word Veda, in that mantra number 5, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, like that, Veda, 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 4 times it has come. That word Veda, it refers to what? Okay, it's referring to each of the 4 Vedas, all right. Veda Shabdena too, but by that word Veda, what is meant by the word Veda? Shabda Rashihi Vivakshitaha. Rashihi means what? Samuhaha. Samuhaha means group. Group of words, assemblage of words. Shabda Rashi, group of words. By the word Veda is referring to this text. Let me show you this text. This is called Samhita, Taittiriya Samhita of Yajurveda. And it has so many pages. I've showed this to you before. It has some 300 pages, okay? And big book it is. And it's only a part of the Yajurveda. And this words and words and words and words. That's all it is. Look at this. There is nothing. Somewhere there is a title. That's it. But if you turn, you can turn, keep on turning the pages, you'll find words and words and words. That is what is Shabda Rashihi. Correct? Shabda Rashihi. It is just words. So, that what the Upanishad wants to tell us is that the word Veda means this group of words, this text, not the meaning of that. Okay, this text. Then what about this Paravidya? That's what he's saying in the previous one. Upanishad Vedya Akshara Vishayam hi Vijnanam iha Paravidya iti pradhanyena vivakshita. Now Upanishad Shabda Rashihi. Hey, Paravidya is not Shabda Rashihi. It is not a group of words. It is not all these words that text this book. Mundakopanishad is a book right there in front of me. Here is a book called Mundakopanishad. It is part of the Veda only. It is part of not of the Yajurveda. It's part of the Atharvana Veda. And that is extracted out and printed in the form of a book. I can see all the words here. All the words are there. It is called Upanishad Shabda Rashihi. If I don't know the meaning of the words, this is what kind of book is this? This book has not taught me anything. There's no use in having this book at all. Not having this book is as good as having this book which is not understood, of which not even one word is understood. Correct? There is no difference. It just fills up space. It just fills up space in the house. Okay. And so that is called Upanishad Shabda Rashi. There's a group of words. Text it. It's a text. That's all. Text means what? Yeah, it is. I don't know what to say. It's a textbook. You can say it's a textbook. Shabda Rashi. And textbook has to be studied. That's why we are all going to school and college to study. And so he's saying when the Upanishad here, Mundakopanishad is saying Paravidya, it is not now Upanishad Shabdarashihi. It is not referring to this text, this words, group of assemblage of words. Brahma Devanam Pratama Sambhabuva Vishwasya Karta Bhavanasya Gopta Asa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtha Atharvaya Jeshta Puttaraya Praha. That is the first mantra. Okay, like this we can keep on chanting. Okay? Then all the parampara was said. Then Atharva, Yam, Atharva, like this it all comes, right? No, that is just Shabda Rashihi. Okay. Then what? Upanishad Vedya Akshara Vishayam Hi Vijnanam. Hey, this Paravidya refers to Vijnanam, some knowledge. It's talking about knowledge. Knowledge of what? This Vedya Akshara Vishayam. Upanishad Vedya. Upanishad Akshara Vishayam. Akshara Vishayam is what? Brahma Vishayam. Atma Vishayam. Naksharati iti Aksharaha. Hey, this Akshara is Brahma. And Brahma Vishayam, the topic of Brahma, must be understood. And what is the topic of Brahma? It is Upanishad Vedyam. It is to be known through the Upanishad. Upanishada Vedyam. It is to be known through the Upanishad. That is why the Upanishad is important. Through this Upanishad, through the study of the Upanishad, not the chanting of the Upanishad. Through the study, proper study of the Upanishad, I will know what? Akshara Vishayam. Brahma Vishayam. Knowledge of Brahma, I will get. That Vijnanam, I will get. Knowledge. And Paravidya iti pradhanyena vivakshitam. Hey, that is what is intended by the Upanishad. When it says Yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. Yaya means what? Yaya Upanishada. Yaya Upanishad vijnanena. Upanishad vidyaya. That vidya which I will learn when I study the Upanishad, by that what I learn is called Paravidya. That is what you should understand, my dear friend. Like that, Shankara is responding to the simulated Purva Pakshi. Simulated means what? Simulated means what? Upanishad doesn't talk about Purva Paksha and Siddhanta. Shankaracharya is helping us understand these words. Do I thoroughly understand what is being said? And you simply don't parrot all these things. You have to understand how people will question you. And you can't, when you stand out there and talk about these things, you must be thorough. So he's making us thorough. And so, That is the meaning here. So pretty straightforward. Finally, what is the meaning? Well, it's not complete yet, right? Let's complete it. शब्द राशि अधिगमे अपि शब्द राशि अधिगमे अपि
शब्दराशि अधिगम्यते अधिगम्य मे
अधिगमे अपि
अधिगमे अपि
यत्नान्तरम्
यत्नान्तरम्
उत्तरेण
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 गुरु अभिगमनादिलक्षणम्
गुरु अभिगमनादि लक्षणम्
वैराग्यं च
वैराग्यं च
न अक्षराधिगमः
न अक्षराधिगमः
संभवति इति
I didn't get it.
संभवति इति
अववति इति
पृथक्करणम्
पृथक्करणम्
ब्रह्मविद्यायाः
ब्रह्मविद्यायाः
पराविद्या इति
पराविद्या इति
कथनं च इति.
कथनं च इति.
Yeah. So having understood that there is Shabda Rashi, in other words, there is Shabda Jnanam and then there is Shabdartha Jnanam. Shabda Jnanam, all the children in the Veda Pathashala have Shabda Jnanam. But here what we are doing is Shabdartha Jnanam. Otherwise, we will be memorizing. If memorizing the Veda gives me moksha, we will not be memorizing. Why should all this discussion happen? Analysis happen? There's no need for all of that. We will all be chanting, memorize and chant. Over. Game over. That's not the way it is. So that is the distinction that Shankaracharya is giving here. And he's now saying, having understood that part, that what part it is? Veda. The word Veda in this mantra refers to the Shabda Rashi or Shabda Jnanam. And Yayata Daksharam Adhigamyate refers to Shabdartha Jnanam and more specifically Upanishad Shabdartha Jnanam. Correct? Not the entire Karmakanda Shabdartha Jnanam. Karmakanda Shabdartha Jnanam cannot give me moksha. Karmakanda Shabdartha Jnanam can only give me Artha and Kama and Dharma. But only the Upanishad Shabdartha Jnanam will give me this Yayata Daksharam Adhigamyate Tasmat Mokshaha Praptaha iti. Prapyate iti. All right. So, having understood that, now he's giving some additional detail. Shabda Rashi Adhigame Api. So, Shankaracharya's favorite. He's saying, okay, I'm great guy, I'm very smart, I can figure out the meaning of the words. Shabda Rashi Adhigame. Adhigama means Jnane Api. If I'm able to understand the meaning of the words, because I'm a Sanskrit scholar and these are all very simple for me, all these words. If I say something like that, Shabda Rashi Adhigame Api, even then, still moksha is not possible. Why? Because Yatnantaram Antarena Guru Abhigamanadi Lakshanam Vairagyam Cha. You already got it. You already must have understood. There is something else needed in addition. Yatnantaram Antarena. Without an additional effort. Yatnantaram Antarena. Yatna is Prayatna. Yatnantaram, additional effort. Besides simply knowing the meaning of the words, there is something else is needed. What is needed? Antarena means without. Without an additional effort. Antarena is an avyaya in Sanskrit. It's an indeclinable. And it is governed by Dvitiya Vibhakti. Dvitiya Vibhakti. So that's why Yatnantaram is Dvitiya Vibhakti. All right. Or it can be Panchami also. Yatnantarat Antarena also, I think, is possible. Anyway, that is Sanskrit. So he's saying, what are the additional things needed? Please tell me. Yes. Guru Abhigamanam. Guru Abhigamanam. Do you know why Guru Abhigamanam? Because because Guru is the only one who can unlock the Shastram. And it is not simply dictionary meanings of the words that is going to help you, my dear friend. That is why Guru is needed. Okay. Guru Abhigamanadi. Abhigamana means approaching a Guru. Adi, Lakshanam, etc. Those kinds of things. Like going to a Guru, etc. What kinds of things? Well, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. These are the things. That's what we are doing. And so, Guru Abhigamanadi Lakshanam. And then Vairagyam, is putting a little bit, Adhikaritvam is just adding. He can say Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, Shatka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam. He can say all that. All those qualities are required, which we are studying in the Viveka Chodamani. So all the qualities required for a person to really sit through this and then appreciate the whole vision. Those qualities are embodied by the word Vairagyam. Vairagya means all those qualities, disciplines, all those disciplines that are required. Then if I sit in front of a teacher, then I will begin to understand. That is what he's saying. Without that, aksharadhigamaha na sambhavati. Without that additional effort, without approaching a teacher and keeping the ears and eyes open, this aksharadhigamaha, this understanding of aksharam, which is mentioned by this mantra, by saying yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate, that adhigamyate word he's using here now. He used prapyate. He said prapyate for adhigamyate. Now he's saying adhigamaha, going back to the Mundaka word, Moolam word is going. Na aksharadhigamaha, aksharajnanam na sambhavati. That we understand. Proper Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam must be done. Without that, this jnanam that Upanishad is talking about is not possible. That is additional information. It has nothing to do with the actual Purva Pakshi Siddhanta dialogue itself. It's additional information. But now he's saying, he's adding that, and he's saying, because Shabda, why do you say this? Why, if I know to memorize the entire Veda, that's a great thing. How many of us can do? We can't even memorize the Bhagavad Gita, which is only 720 shlokas. Okay? And you are saying somebody who has memorized the entire Veda cannot get moksha? This is not fair at all. This is not fair. We know the Veda is such a sacred text. It is a Matri Sastra Hitaishini. It is equivalent to the love and compassion of 1,000 mothers. All that you have said, and somebody who has memorized the Veda means how many years have been gone on these kinds of things. Person has given up the entire life on this one text. Not fair. Yeah, not fair means what? Tattvamasi is the Mahavakyam, which is what releases us from bondage. That is the Mahavakyam. That is a mokshadayaka Vakyam it is. Okay. And so without knowing all that, if I memorize this and that, and if I say I am a Sanskrit Mahapadhyaya, and I get lost in Tattvamasi, then I say Tat is Napumsaka Lingam, Takaranta Napumsaka Lingam, Takaranta, and then Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam, and all I keep on saying. Tvam is Yushmat Pratipadikam, Yushmat Sabdaha, Dakaranta, Trilingeshu, what is it called? Samana Rupani, Trilingeshu, all three lingas in the same Rupa. Tvam, Trilingam also Tvam, Pullingam also Tvam, Napumsakam also Tvam. Like this, if I keep on talking, Tattvamasi is a Mahavakyam, my dear friend. Without understanding the Mahavakyam, you are lost in Sanskrit. Because so much is there to say in Sanskrit. So much is there to say, and I got lost in that. That is why Shabda Rashi, he includes all these things, getting lost in so many. That is why they say, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate. Hey, come on, hey, Mudhamate. You better come back to Bhagavan. Only Govinda can release you and me, okay? And Samprapte san nihite kale, nahi rakshati dukrinchi karane. The beautiful shloka actually. Nahi rakshati. The stuff that you are doing, it won't protect you. It won't help you really. You think it's helping you. What are you doing? This author Shankaracharya has played a game, fantastic game he has played. Dukrinj karane nahi rakshati. The very technical word it is. It's a grammar word. Dukrinj is the name of a root. Like karoti, does, he does. Saha karyam karoti, he does work. That karoti is a verb. Vah karya karta hai. That karta, that kr dhatu is there from which this word karta has come and karoti has come. And that kri is dhatu. That's how we call it. But the formal way of calling the kri dhatu in the Shabda Kosha, Amara Kosha is what? Not Amara Kosha. Shabda Kosha is Dhatu Kosha is what? Dukrinj. I think I told you this before. Dukrinj. So kri is there, do is there in front of it, and inj is there in front, after it. So it's like a shell. It's like a peanut which is covered by a shell. It is protected by a shell. So all these dhatus are protected by these prefixes and suffixes. So nahi nahi rakshati dukrinj karane. And dukrinj means karane, means grammar. This is all vyakaranam. All these language, this talk is vyakaranam, Samskrita vyakaranam. And vyakaranam is not going to protect you. Only Govinda can protect you. Vishnu only can protect you. Like that, that is the interpretation of that first loka. But that is not what Shankara is saying there. I told you this before. And Dukrinj Karane is not, he is not referring to grammar. That interpretation is useful here in understanding. But real meaning of the shloka is what? A karma will not help you. Kri is karoti, karma. It is action, refers to action. Action will not protect you. Means what? Karma phalam. Karma can only give you karma phalam. It can't give you moksha. Jnana only can give you moksha. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu palabhyate. Vastu siddhir vicharena na kinchit karma kotuhi. We saw that in Vivekachudamani. That is what is being said there. That is by the way. That's by the way. And so, here, getting lost in the Shabda Rashi is, or the grammar, etc., all these subjects. That's why he said Shiksha, Kalpam, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandas, Jyotishamiti, all that he said, right? So all the additional sciences, entire science you can put here, all the whole world of knowledge, every university you bring and all the courses they are teaching, you bring it all here. And that will not give me this moksha. And so he's saying, memorizing all these words, Vedic words also will not give me moksha. Aksharadirghamaha na sambhavati. And therefore, what? Prithakkaranam Brahma Vidyayaha. That is why Brahma Vidya has to be separately told. Separated from what? From the Veda. Shabda Rashi, the Veda is there. Veda is Apara Vidya, Upanishad has said. And this Shabdartha Jnanam has to be pulled out. This is all Shabda Jnanam, but you take out Shabdartha Jnanam from that. Separated out. It must be separated out. Prithak Karanam. Brahma Vidyayaha Prithak Karanam. This Brahma Vidya has to be separately pulled out of this Veda. And by the words Atha Para Vidya Iti. Therefore, those words Atha Para Vidya, the mention of those words, Kathanam, the mention of those words and its separation from Aparavidya is appropriate. It is needed. It is needed. That's what Shankara is saying and concluding. And so that concludes this mantra, which lists Aparavidya and defines Paravidya. Okay? Let's do the Anvaya of this mantra. Tatra Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha. So it's the same thing here. There is not much change, I think. So Apara only is different. So let me read it anyway. Tatra Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharvavedaha. शिक्षा कल्पो व्याकरणम निरुक्तम छंदो ज्योतिषम. शिक्षा कल्पो व्याकरणम निरुक्तम छंदः ज्योतिषम इति. ओके. इति येषा अपरा विद्या उच्यते. इति येषा अपरा विद्या उच्यते. Means all this Rigveda etc. are known to be apara vidya or called as apara vidya. Okay, ready for the next sentence? Atha yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate
Guruji, can you please repeat from Atha?
Atha yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. Same words as the moolam. One second. Correct. Okay, good. So, got it. Atha yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate iyam para vidya uchyate. Iyam para vidya uchyate. Or sa para vidya uchyate. There are many pronouns we can use here. Shankaracharya uses the word iyam. Iyam means this feminine gender. So iyam, I-Y-A-M, iyam. Iyam para vidya uchyate. Atha yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate iyam para vidya uchyate. This is called para vidya. So let me read this. Tatra, tatra means in this context, in the context of apara and para vidya that was mentioned in the previous mantra. Tatra Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha, Atharvavedaha, Shiksha, Kalpaha, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandaha, Jyotisham, iti yesha apara vidya uchyate. Next sentence. Atha yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate, comma, iyam para vidya uchyate. So we'll continue in the next class. Om आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्. काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.